Penny Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds.
Doing the right thing like always, good old Locke. He's going to get the doctor while he doesn't let her take the baby through the jungle. That's a good thing.
Yeah, because he can't let her go in the hatch because he's hiding a man in there.
Oh, no, he's just being a good egg.
I can't start this early with you, Michael.
Well, I'm intrigued to see what actually happened.
Little medicine for your baby.
What? Dr. Ethan, apparently. Sawyer in his glasses.
Hot shirtless, hot with glasses. He has it all.
Well, Thelma.
Why wouldn't you close the door before you started talking?
That's
just so info. All right.
Aw, did poor little Walkie Poo, did he get his feelings hurt? Aw, poor baby.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Lost, Season 2, Episode 15, Maternity Leave. Michael, Kristin, Kevin, and I are here to talk about an episode where we finally get to learn what happened to Claire. Yeah, it's a bit trippy, so I'm sure we'll get to that. What do you guys think?
It's not Michael, it's Henry Gale from Minnesota, thank you.
Can you do a Minnesota accent?
I don't even know what a Minnesota accent is.
You really got to dig into your R's for it.
Yeah.
I like, so I accidentally, viewers at home, I accidentally watched this because I thought they watched it without me last weekend when I was away. But they didn't. So I watched this twice really close together, and doing that, I was like, oh, is Claire like as we'll see, like her memory is that like this room is really nice and it's really well organized and it seems so well painted, and then she gets back there and it's like really dingy and gross. I'm like, was she in La La Land when she was drugged? Did she think that this place was nice and it was actually like this the way it is now?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, it was the first time I had time to think about it because I watched the two episodes so close together, and I was like, "Oh, is that what's happening here?"
I've never thought that. That maybe.
That was
like,
an
I just
interesting.
imagined it as this really clean place, but it actually never was.
Right.
Huh.
Well, I mean, I think the point of it too, and that definitely could be. I never thought about it like that either. But I think the view of it all is you see how dingy and gross this place is, except for that room. So it definitely could be her off in La La Land being drugged, but I think also that maybe it wasn't, that they did, like, they wanted her to think that this was like a beautiful thing and to get her to give the baby up. But so they just did that one room. And they're like, she won't think about the other place. It's fine.
Yeah.
I really like that theory. I'm jumping on board Kevin's train. That's a really good theory. I love it.
Yeah.
Can I just say before we start, like, I think this was such a good performance by Emily Draven. Like, I feel like this was a great showcase of Claire over like previous. She was fantastic in this episode, like especially at the end when she's talking to Turnip Head. Like, yeah, she was great. I think she's often an overlooked character, and I think this is a good showcase of it.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I was gonna say I think sometimes we can overlook her as being like the crazy mom who's in a panic, but like this is like she really is like a few weeks of being a mom, and she like doesn't have memories, and she's like thinking her kid is like sick with some quarantine disease that is gonna kill it, and like I think she actually does a really good job of that.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I've said this before, like she's a very an underestimated, understated character, because she does have this like power behind her that she's really, we've said this back when she was pregnant, of like, you believe those screams, like that girl was like legit. Like she's acting her ass off, and she does a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like, we haven't had an episode centered on Claire for a full season at this point. Like, so to get to see her do more is nice. And like, obviously we've gotten moments with her, like reacting to Charlie, or obviously what happened at the end of season 1. But like, I feel like to actually have something centered around her again is good.
Most definitely. Before we jump into this whole thing, there was a very, very obvious number, and Jake, I want to see if you caught it before I say it. It was very, very obvious.
I was paying attention to other things.
Okay, Michael and Kevin, do you know this very obvious number?
The 4 planes in the mobile.
Oh,
that one. Yes, I guess that one. Okay, no. I guess there's 2 very obvious ones. This one, on the vaccine bottle, they stayed on it very long. It had all the numbers 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
I did not catch that. No,
they made sure to like focus in on it, like, and they stayed on the vaccine for like quite some time. But yeah, still a lot of people miss it.
Yeah, I was like, I saw the planes, didn't realize there were 4 of them, or like didn't register that. But like I saw like the planes themselves. I'm like, yeah, that's something I noticed, or like, obviously I'm paying attention to other details that are going on.
Yeah, no, it's, again, like, unless they're like said out loud, they're hard. There are those times that we've mentioned many times before that they'll just throw them in there, not say anything. So it's fun to pick them up that way. So yeah, thanks, Kevin, for proving that there were 2 very obvious ones.
You're welcome. Anything for you, sweetie.
Mine was more fun. All right, let's jump into maternity leave here. I mean, there's a lot that happens in this episode. We don't actually get technically a flashback, even though they are technically flashbacks. But it's not like a flashback that we've seen going off the island, or, you know, in her past life. This is literally just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But we start off the episode with Erin crying, Claire, being the mother that she is tending to a sweet baby turnip head, and then of course Locke's there, because why not? He's sleeping outside because he has to protect her from Big Bad Charlie, whatever. But she's like, "Where's Jack?" He's like, "He's at the hatch." She's like, "I'm gonna go." And he's like, "I'm gonna go." And I'm sure Michael is going to be all about, Locke is so great, and he's not, because he's doing this for a very specific reason. He does not want her to know that there is a person in the hatch. So Locke does go.
Two things can be true. 2 things can be true at the same time. Yes, there's someone down the hatch that we don't want Claire to see, but it is the right thing to do. He's not letting Claire go running off in the jungle in the middle of the night with a baby. That's the correct thing. Like, come on, give the guy a break.
I mean, he should be taking Claire to the hatch with the baby, but he can't do that. He can't do that because he's hiding.
That's true.
You.
They're all starting early in this. They're starting
Which
early.
side it's on?
Anyway, so Locke goes to get Jack. He runs to the hatch. Jack, of course, being the good doctor that he is asleep on the couch. And he wakes him up. They switch places. And while we're waiting for Jack to get back, Rousseau shows up. And we know how that worked out for Claire and Rousseau last time. She's like, no, why are you here? What's up? You cannot come near my kid. You killed me last time. She brings up the fact that he's infected. And Claire's like, what? And Kate immediately comes to the rescue. Get out of here. Like, go away. You can't be here. And rushes her off. I have to bring up Jack and his really shitty bedside manner, as we've all seen many times before. He is like literally dismissing this mom. As a mom of a medically fragile kid, when a doctor is dismissing me the way that Jack is, you are going to sure as hell piss me off. I understand that there are those moms out there that just panic for panic's sake, and you kind of just have to shut it down. I understand that, but Jack is an asshole. He's and I'm not here for it.
I like that you spread out.
You already went
Jack
through that.
and Locke.
I hate. Listen, I don't care. Like they both suck.
We already went through that where Jack, Claire came to Jack in season 1 and be like, "Hey, someone's trying to attack my baby." Jack's like, "Shut up, go to sleep.
Right,
You just need rest."
He's a spinal surgeon. He's not an obstetrician.
An obstetrician.
Yeah, he's having to be
He's not a
everything doctor on this
pediatrician.
island.
Yeah, I'm like we have a kid now. It's not an obstetrician.
I mean, but it was originally, right? Like,
but again, we've also proven the fact that Claire has come to him before and he dismissed her, and then Charlie's hanging by a tree. So maybe Jack start listening to Claire. It would be helpful. Just throwing it out there. So Claire's over Jack shit, as am I, and she goes to Libby to help because apparently our shrink on the island is a better doctor than Jack. Who would have thunk it?
she's a better mental health doctor than the spinal surgeon. Shocking.
Shocking. But she wants, she's talking to Libby about like, I have all these things missing from my life. Libby mentions to her, like, maybe you're just blocking them. She's like, I'm going to need you to unblock them. We also get back to Henry Gale. I'm so glad you could join us from the hatch today. But we have Henry Gale, who is still a prisoner, and Locke and Jack are coming in doing their Locke and Jack things, bringing food, taking plates out, and Locke hands him a book. It's, of course, literally these two will go at it, just like our own Henry Gale and Jack today will go at it before. But we see again, they can't, there's not a day that goes by that these two are not bickering like bitter Betties. But they are arguing over the book. They're arguing over, Locke's throwing out some bullshit about Hemingway. It's a great time for all. And we get all of these sweet moments between these two idiots that continue to just like, we've seen it like already. Sawyer, my man, is like taking them over because they're so infatuated with each other that they can't think of anything else. And then we get Libby and Claire. Libby is sitting there going to walk her through this. You're safe. You're in a safe place. Everything's quiet. I love how she's like, we're away from the sounds of camp, as Aaron is literally crying not 2 feet away. It's like great.
I was gonna say like 5 feet away.
Like as a mom, I'd be like, can we like go down the beach because I hear my baby still crying and I kind of want to go help my baby. But yeah, so she starts to walk her through these things, and we see that she starts to get her first like little flash of what has happened. I'm gonna stop it there before we even go into like that flash of it all, just to this opening, because Jake, I want to hear your thoughts on this, and then of course we're gonna get these two that are gonna go at it. So. What are your thoughts about the beginning of this episode?
Yeah, I mean, I can see both perspectives of like, yeah, Locke doesn't want a lot of people to know about Henry Gale right now, but also like, yeah, he can also, go with Claire. Like she doesn't have to just like walk through the jungle alone with just the baby. She can have someone go with her. So.
Still dangerous for anyone to go walking out. He does it, but he does it.
She had her baby in the middle of those woods. Himself. She'll be fine.
But John Locke's the protector. He can protect anyone. So, but that's happening. And then, yeah, Claire's having these like flashbacks. And so like immediately just to know like, okay, we're finally going to follow up on something. And we've been wondering for a full season now. I was pretty excited because I really wanted to know where Claire had been off to, what was happening. And I liked also that they're gonna tie Rousseau into this like plot line. Cause like we knew that she scratched Rousseau like back towards the end of season 1, like that happened, but we didn't know from what. And just like the way they're able to tie this character around like into this who has been around for a while is pretty cool. So I really liked that. And again, also getting help from, Libby, who hasn't been given too much to do yet. Like, we don't know too much about her other than she's a shrink, and her and Hurley are, interested in each other. So,
and she likes to wear those 2000s tops.
Yeah, that's the other thing. But those are the only things we really know about her. So to give her something to do as a character is pretty cool too.
All right, Jake. Now we get to sit back and just watch the.
Go at it.
We're not going to argue.
No, there's. I mean, what Jack and Locke have like a little argument. I do think this is a little bit John thinking that he's like thinking he's like, oh well, what's your plan? And Jack just being like, I don't have one. Like and you don't have one either. So like, shut up. Like, I think it's basically just that, right? Like, well, do you have a plan for this? And he's like, no, neither do you. So get over yourself, which is relatable.
It does go back to my favorite kind of Jack, which is frustrated, short-tempered Jack, where Locke's just trying to tell him a story about Hemingway, and he's like, no, John, I didn't know that.
Right.
Whatsoever. Also, one of my other favorite things is, of course, Henry, and he has the funniest little line from off screen where they're arguing about what they're going to do with him, and he shouts through the door, why don't you just let me go?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I mean, it's a valid statement.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I think I really love these moments where like Claire gets to be a mom, right? Like she's always kind of like in the background, right? Like people tend to forget about her. We mentioned this, that she's a very underwhelming character. But I always like that we can really like hone in on her because she is like this very strong, she's doing this by herself, as we know, like kind of mom. And coming from a mom, my kid's sick, I'm doing everything and anything that I can. Like, again, we have a doctor that's dismissing her. I would have slapped him in the face. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I would have been like, why did I call you out here if you're not going to do anything? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have time for it. You're the doctor. I called you out here for a specific reason. I didn't need you to be like, it's going to be okay. Well, shit, thank you. I could have looked up at the stars and same result. Like, what do you mean? I
just love the idea that, like, Jack has no qualifications to be taking care of a baby. He is not a pediatrician, right? This is not his job. And so he's like, I don't know what to tell you, Claire. He's fine. He's got a fever. He's like, kids get sick. I don't know what to tell you. Like, he's like similar to Locke, just like overwhelmed. Like, I don't know. He's fine. And you're like, fuck him.
You may not be a specific pediatrician to deal with children, but you went to medical school and you know that he has a fever, that there could be other things wrong. So let's maybe help Claire in figuring this shit out. Instead, you're like, go back to bed. He has a fever. Like, whatever. Can't stand it.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I think that your reaction is funny is all.
I mean, I might be taking a little bit of Dr. dismissing me out on Jack, but it's happened. It's happened. So it's actually not a far-fetched storyline for a doctor to dismiss a parent, especially when no. with your kid, with their own kid all the time. And then you go to a doctor because they are supposed to have the knowledge, and for them to dismiss you is just really frustrating. So
no, you're right. I still think it's funny.
Jack is an asshole. Anyway, moving on. I'm giving poor Locke a break for this episode. With that, we do get our first flash, and we see that Claire is with Ethan. She is in a room where he's like, we got to help the baby, and she's just we're starting to realize, oh, this is where we're like, okay, we're getting the story that we've been waiting for. Like, what happened to Claire when she was all this time she was gone? We do see him give her an injection. She was visualizing that back when Jack wouldn't listen to her the last time. But throwing that back out there. So with that, we do have Claire in her vision, like she comes out of it scared. She's screaming, she's freaking out because she's, first of all these memories have been gone, and now to like see Ethan, and now he's stabbing with this needle. Oh my god, the needle, Charlie, all these things. And so I love Kate. She's like, "What did you do to her?" Nothing, bitch. I'm helping. Like, calm down, Kate. So we have Kate coming to the rescue yet again. We do see Echo chopping down a tree, and he makes his way to the hatch. Again, Dumb and Dumber are just, they're doing so well with hiding Henry Gale here. He's going to the bathroom, and Echo walks into the hatch, and Jack's like, shut the door. I'm just gonna shut that door there. He'll never know. He is not having any of this. Like, there's a cot, clearly, and blankets and things happening in this room, but I'll just ignore it for now. It's fine. I'm not gonna. I need a saw. I need a saw. How's it going, Locke? Great, cool to see ya. Like,
the fake cool, calm, collected too of Locke being like, "Oh, I'm just changing the light bulb. No big deal." Hilarious. Peak comedy to me. I loved it.
I honestly, like, for a fact, because Echo's like, hello, that Locke's like sitting there like, oh shit, I gotta pretend like I'm doing something. Like, let me change the light bulb.
What was that? Oh yeah, one moment.
How's it going?
Hilarious.
I've been here.
Hilarious.
Oh my god, it's such a comical moment. But we also, the best part of this episode, we get to see Sawyer, which is right now. And he's so adorable in his little reading glasses. And Kate,
I can't wait for those reading glasses to be the reason he's your favorite character of the week.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We see Kate come up. She's like, I need a gun. You don't need to know why. You're not gonna ask questions. He's like, well, seeing how I have all the guns, yeah, I kind of want to know. We get a new nickname for Freckles here. She is now called Thelma for Thelma and Louise. She's talking about her and Claire going out. And he's like, oh, okay, no boys allowed. She's like, no. I mean, I would have taken him. I don't know why she's being stupid, but whatever.
You would have been mad if she did take him.
Yeah.
I would have. No win for Kate.
You would have run up and pushed Kate over and like taken Sawyer.
Like, perfect, Kate. You take off into the depth of the jungle, and I'm gonna be sitting here doing all the things to Sawyer. We have Claire handing baby turnip head Aaron over to Sun. He is, of course, still very sick and crying and inconsolable. She's like, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna fix everything. It's okay, Aaron. Like, Sun is very much. Listen, I love Sun, but like, don't be like condescending of a mother should not leave their child. Bitch, shut up. I'm trying to help. Like, this is very not like Sun. I was very upset with Sun in this moment. And I understand where she's coming from, but again, like, we don't know what's wrong with him. And if Claire feels that she can go and find something to help Aaron, who is Sun to say anything? Which Claire throws her right back in her face, and she's like, I'm sorry, are you a mother? And she's like, shit, no, I'm not. With that, there's a lot of heat going on in this little interaction here. But we do see that she takes off with Kate to go and investigate. She is remembering that one room, and she's off to find it. I love that she has one like minuscule of a thing, and she's like, we're gonna go find that room. No idea where it's at. We're gonna just start walking, and like maybe it will turn up randomly. I don't know, but it is a very interesting thing. Jake, I'm gonna stop it there. What were your thoughts? Because I mean, we've got our first little flashback here, and then kind of this whole leading up to let's go find out where this room is.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting just to see Ethan pretending to be a doctor. Like, I'm just like, okay, they let this psychopath like pretend, like dress up in a doctor's coat and pretend he's.
I mean, he's being more of a doctor than Jack at this moment, but whatever.
Wow,
Jack is saving lives, Kristin. Jack is saving lives.
So is Ethan, apparently.
Better Dr. Jack or Ethan, let us know.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't think too many people are going to pick the psychopath, but... but yeah, no, it was wild to see that, and then, yeah, just starting to piece things together. Yeah, that line, that exchange between Sun and Claire... Like, I understand Claire being like, I'm the mom here, you don't have a kid. But also, Sun's just trying to help. I feel like, attacking the nicest person in the camp being Sun, like, I don't know. Like, back off, Claire.
Nice in that moment.
I don't know. I I think Sun's just trying to help, but that's just my thoughts.
We'll never get any hate except for in this moment. It's fine.
Yeah, I didn't think Sun was like. Oh, sorry, Jake, carry on.
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, I didn't think Sun was, being rude. I think she was just watching out for Claire and like, don't go running off in the jungle. And like, I don't think maybe if Claire took it that way, like I'm sure she didn't mean for it to come across that way. I don't think there was any like ill intention from Sun there, at least. I will say I felt like a bit of a missed opportunity. Sawyer obviously ends up giving Kate the gun, but Kate has carte blanche. It was a whole big thing in season 1. Like, she has carte blanche with Sawyer. She gets access to anything she wants anytime because she helped him with the ball. When Sawyer's been all like, "Oh, no, I'm not giving you a gun," just be like, "Carte blanche. You have to give me a gun. We went through this." But then he just does it anyway because he's trying to grow, I guess. Even though we just went through a couple of episodes ago where he decided to grow.
He's such a good person.
I was just gonna bring that up. That was the last thing I remember now. But yeah, the whole thing of like we've just seen 2 episodes of Sawyer like proving that he hasn't actually been changing, and this has kind of just been something he's been putting on. So it's just funny to see him go back to wearing little reading glasses and like just like putting on this like act to Kate and just being like, I'm the good guy. Like, I don't know, that's a little bit shocking. And like how everybody's just like, treating him as if he's not the guy who, owns all the guns and is just like, I don't know. Like it's very, very interesting to me and a little bit crazy that, they think now Sawyer's just back to being this good boy.
I would like to point out that I think that he is the good guy and the bad guy is the act that he's putting on.
I actually do agree with that, Kristin. I hate to agree with you, but I do agree with that. I think this is a scene that proves that he has changed. He has had major growth and change, and he's starting to realize that, and that's why he is trying to put back on the bad boy persona. Yeah. No, I think it's partially like writing device, but I think they're like. I think when it comes to Jack, when it comes to Sun, even when it comes to Kate being like, well, I'm not going to be able to stop her, so somebody's got to go with her. Like, they're all kind of, like, pointing out that, like, this probably, like, Claire, he's probably fine. Like, the thing that you should do is just, like, sit with him and let him get better, right? Like, and so they all kind of do that, but we're hearing the story from Claire's perspective, and we're seeing the flashbacks, so we know that, like, no, she can't do that. So I mean, I'm forgiving of Jack and Sun and Kate for all of them being kind of dismissive because it's kind of like the point of how the episode is written, and it kind of like plays into all of their things, right? Like Jack, this is improved bedside manner for Jack. We know that this was never his strong suit. Like he does say like, you sure you're okay? Like this is improved bedside manner for him, but it's still not great, right? Like this is Sun. We know Sun and Jin are a little more like reserved, like traditional values. So like, well, no, a mother shouldn't go running off into the jungle because she should be staying with the children. Like it's kind of reminding us of some of those like core things of them and making the point that like everyone's telling Claire not to, but Claire needs to go do this. So I'm forgiving of the characters doing these things.
I do like as well that it's been a long time since Claire was taken, and like that was one of Jake's, like going way back, one of his big priorities of like I want to see what happened there, and the fact that we don't go back to it for so long, from a storyline sense it makes sense, but that you're going to hold that off. But from a character perspective, you're like, shouldn't Claire be like thinking about what happened in those weeks I was taken? So right. I like that they do tie that in with a legitimate reason of like, she can't remember these things, but now her baby's sick. Now that comes to the surface of like, hey, it's really weird. I was gone for 2 weeks. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what happened to my baby in the last couple of weeks of my pregnancy. So I like that they cover over that time period with a legitimate reason why now this is a priority. I do like that in this episode.
Well, and I think too, I mean, we look at, she came back from being out there wherever she was, which we're getting to, but like she comes back within a couple of days, she's giving birth on this island. Like then her baby's being taken, then they're hiding from the. There's been a lot of things that are happening in these moments here that would easily be like, I kind of forgot all about this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm focusing on being a mom, like making sure everything's okay. Yeah. And then because he is now sick, then she's like, oh, wait. Okay. I have time to think about this for a minute. We need to go back to that. But like, it's very easily understood of why she probably would not have been thinking about those 2 weeks that she was gone. Like, there was a lot that has happened. There's been a lot.
She's got Charlie to deal with. Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Don't start.
Yeah, her baby was dragged out into the ocean. It was weird.
Don't start.
Maybe in a piano, maybe in the crib.
I'm done with you guys because don't get me started on this. With that, we get to her second flash that she has of these moments, and we see Ethan giving her another injection, talking about how like the baby and all these things and the plans. And then he's like, oh, I got you a little surprise. Let's walk down this dirty ass facility. This is where it's like, that this is gross. This is a grungy place. And then he brings her into this nursery. Listen, she is so drugged up. That would be the first thing I'd be like, why is this room already like done up? This is so like, you've been planning this for a while. This is weird. But no, Claire is very much drugged up. She is on some happy juice. She's living her best life up in Claire land. But she does ask about Charlie. As drugged up as she is, she's like, hey, whatever happened to Charlie? Ethan's like, oh, he's great. Let him go back to camp. Totally fine. Yeah, I let him go back to camp hung by his neck in a tree. Like,
Ethan should have said, oh, he's hanging out.
He's hanging out. He's hanging out. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of a beautiful thing that as drugged up as she still had to remember Charlie. We get back to Claire and Kate leaving. We get to them trying to find Rousseau because they are tracking her. She would know she was there. These are the little flashes that she is getting. And they are trying to find her. And Rousseau, just as Rousseau does, pops up out of nowhere. Hey guys, hanging out. What's up? What's going on? And we get kind of this interaction. She's like, take me. You were bringing me back to them. Like, I need you to take me. And Rousseau and her are just having this battle. She's like, no, you tell me. Like, I need to know. Let's go. It's just this battle back and forth of the two of them thinking they know where they're going, and they have no idea.
Correct.
We get Echo, our good old Echo, walking up to Jack, and he's like, yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up earlier, but you're going to take me down, and I'm going to talk to the guy in the hatch. And, of course, Jack is like, why did Locke tell you? And he's like, I didn't tell me anything.
It is a perfectly reasonable thing to think that someone told him.
Yeah.
But he's like, nobody told me. You guys are just idiots and terrible at hiding things. But I want to talk to him. And he's like, what do you want to talk to him about? He's like, I would like to talk to him alone. AKA Jack F off. Like, I'm doing what I want to do. Rousseau and Claire, again, we're going back to this like interaction between them where she brings up this teenage girl, sparks Rousseau's attention. This is where they're fighting. Like, you take me back there. Well, no, you take me back there. What do you mean? I'm not. This whole thing is just, it's very sad when you come to think about these two mothers both frantically trying to figure out what's going on with their child and knowing that they're involved. Both of them are involved in some way, shape, or another, but don't really understand how. It's just kind of really, really sad when you think about that.
Yeah. I was just going to say, so I didn't realize, because for some reason in the past episodes that Rousseau's been in, I thought she had talked about having a son. I didn't realize it was her daughter. So
she did refer to the baby as Alex, which it was meant for you to do that. But yes.
Yeah, that's very deliberate on their part. I think we all thought that. And then it's like, oh, Alex can also be a girl. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to at the end of this episode. But yeah, I mean, we as they're fighting, we get another flashback, if you will. I hate calling it a flashback because our flashbacks are like our flashbacks. But that, I mean, that's what it is. But we see Claire in her little nursery living her best life in this like dungeon of a nursery. Just she's like knitting away, and Ethan's like, "How's it going?" She's like,
"You little booty.
I'm done. Nothing's wrong with this picture." He's like, well, because you've been so good, I'm going to take you for a walk. This is not a walk. This is walking your drunk friend home from the bar. Like, she's falling down. She's giggling like a schoolgirl. She's like, just Claire. It also, I have to point out that this whole interaction between her and Ethan, it really does go to show this very like eek moment of how like how psychotic he really is. Because he's sitting there talking about like, well, you know, you're gonna have to give up the baby and you're gonna have to leave because there's not enough vaccine and we're good people and you should want to give the baby to us. And like, it's just really like, it's kind of creepy to think about.
It's very creepy.
And like picking up on like the moment where she like, she's about to she takes the drink and she's like, oh, this tastes like, you know, some certain way. And he's like, oh, that's strange. And so like, it's
he also smells it and doesn't taste it, which is like,
I know. Yeah. I noticed that too. It was like,
again,
obviously
she's
he's not going to
like
drink
off in her own world. She's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And also, like he says, because you're such a good girl, and I'm just like, oh, like don't say things like that, Ethan. It's so creepy. Like it really made me like get the shivers.
Yeah, Ethan is a character that like we didn't know we wanted more, but we also don't want more because it's so like terrifying. But like he's one of those that you're like, this show is like such a feel good. Yeah, there's some things that happen, but then you like throw in Ethan, you're like, ooh, like no. I don't want it. We also have a moment here, you guys laughed about it, where Ethan is talking to another person and he's like, what do you think he's gonna do? We have like all these moments of he's like, I had to, that like they didn't knew I wasn't on the plane, like I had to like figure this out. So we do know Claire, again, like these are all the things that any person that's being held captive that's not drugged would be like, hi, I'm right here, but she's
red flags.
Yeah, why are you leaving the door open? But again, she's drugged, so
she's
that
like out of it. Like you could have had a full blown conversation. She would have been like, "Did you see the baby I made?" Like she's off. But yeah, I mean, we do see that this was like we hear from Ethan. This was not planned. This was spur of the moment. Like obviously, it was a very like hectic day for everybody involved, including Ethan. And so with that, it's just kind of. We're getting this story of that this was not planned. They were not ready for this moment. But then, of course, then they decided to shut the door, which I thought was hilarious that Jake was like, why didn't you just shut the door from the beginning? But,
right.
Yeah, so a lot of interesting things happening in these flashbacks. I'm going to stop right there, Jake, to walk us through like these flashes and like everything going on the island.
Yeah, absolutely uncomfortable behavior. We've already said enough on that, and I have thoughts more on the guy that Ethan is talking to in that moment. I think I know who that is, based on some stuff that comes up later. Do you want me to say it now or wait?
Yeah, this is about telling us your theories. Yeah,
isn't it Zeke or whatever, the guy with the? He had the beard, but we're gonna talk about that later when we get to like the closet that Kate goes into or the locker room.
We're not going to confirm anything for you. Yeah, you can tell us what you think. We're not going to say yes or no.
Right. We just want to hear it. Doesn't mean we're going to acknowledge.
We always encourage your theories out there because
I know.
We want to talk about you in the spoiler section.
Yeah. Well, and then the Echo moment, just the fact that he's going to pick up on like the little things that. Because Jack and Locke are doing such a bad job of hiding Henry Gale from everyone.
And these are the two people that are in charge. Okay?
Yes.
Like, good God.
Yeah.
I will once again point out, Jack just got put in that position because everyone was like, you're a doctor, you're a leader. Locke wanted this position.
Yeah, that's true. But just like, the like Echo just catching on, and like I love that he just approaches Jack in that way, and then is gonna go down and have this conversation with Henry Gale, which we'll get to later. But I guess that's my thoughts on this section.
It's like it's almost like a Survivor moment. It's such basic how to get a lie out of, like, the truth out of someone. Jack, come on, he literally just gives him the slightest little thing, and he goes, "Did Locke tell you that?" It's like, well, if he didn't know, he sure does now. Like, come on, Jack. Why didn't you just say? So, like, I'm sleeping down the hatch, or like he didn't even try. He was just like, "This was probably that stupid Locke."
Right, because it probably
You
was.
confirmed it, Jack.
If I'm Jack and someone comes to me and says something about the man in the hatch, I'm gonna be like, "Fucking Locke can't keep his mouth shut."
In this little section as well, again, I kind of want to talk about it because it's one of my favorite scenes, but I can't talk about it too much. But there is a little line in that scene between our others in the hatch, where he says, he's talking about how rushed this was, and he says, "What am I going to say to him?"
Yeah, that they did talk about like a higher up. So
we have a him. I just thought I'd throw that in there and then sit back.
The boss.
Sit back. Oh my god. I mean, again, I kind of touched on it a little bit, but like the whole two mothers trying to now on the same mission, it's actually like it kind of gets swept under the rug a little bit unless it's not talked about, because this is just absolutely heartbreaking that they're both on the same mission to help their child and find their child and do all these things, and trying to like piece together stories that they don't know any part about. They're getting like Rousseau's just like living her life out here, like, and all of a sudden a teenage girl gets brought up, which we find out at the end that is very important to her, which is why she immediately goes hard on Claire. Like, well, take me back. And Claire's like, well, I remember you taking me back there and I was trying to get away from you. Like, what do you mean? Like, this interaction between these two is just, it's like, it rips your heart out to know that they're after the same goal, but they have no way of getting to this said goal because they don't have the pieces that they need to fit into the story. And so I just think it's just a very tragic, but beautifully done in an understated way, of getting the story for these two moms. And then
I'm glad you brought that up, because like I did want to mention that as well, because I think Mira Furlan does like such a good job. She's so like, she does the whole crazy thing really well, but you can see in that moment that this is the first time she has had hope in a long time. Like, she probably, like, things worked out for Claire. She still has her baby. There's something wrong with it, but Rousseau has been without her child for 16 years, and
that she didn't even realize 16 years.
Yeah. So to have even a mention of like, oh, there was a girl, like, imagine going so many years not knowing what happened, and then even having something that you can cling on to, like, maybe I'm going to get some answers here, maybe she's out there, and you can see it in her eyes, and it's like a light goes off. It's such a good performance. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. It's so true.
Yeah, I mean, but even too, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that's your kid either. Like, there could just be a random teenage girl. I mean, for her to just immediately go, oh my gosh, it has to be my kid. Now I need to help Claire and we got to find this place. Like, it's just such a very understated scene, but like so powerful. So I always have to bring that up. Just, I mean, especially from the mom factor.
Can I just say, I think it's cool. I mean, we'll get there when we get there to her, but the casting for the daughter, Alex, like, I think they did a good job of casting someone that looked like they could be Rousseau's daughter. Like, she looks very much like her.
Yeah, for sure. Again, lost attention to details, right? But also this again, we're bringing this back up, this Ethan and Claire. I mean, it's kind of like, when you think about it, it's like a Lifetime movie getting ready to unfold, right? Like, stealing the baby. It's like, he makes it seem like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, this is totally fine. Like, Kevin's like, red flag, red flag, red flag. There are so many red flags jumping.
Red flags.
Like, this is so bad. But he's like presenting it to Claire in such a way. Granted, again, she's drugged, but like, even if she's not drugged, like, granted, we're all like, okay, red flags. But he does it in a way of like, we're good people. You wanted to adopt your baby. We're gonna take care of your baby. Like, he's catering to these things. If she was like, oh yeah, because even in the very beginning of the episode, she's like, I was traveling to Los Angeles, and like, so it's like,
I love that even now you're doing the like making fun of Claire mocking voice. Like,
I don't like
who had drugged up Claire.
I was going to Los
She's
Angeles.
drugged up. They're trying to kill her and take her baby, and you're still making fun of her voice.
So no one is safe. No one is safe except for Sawyer. But no, it's just he does a very good job of being this like calming, like nothing's wrong with this situation, Claire. You're totally great.
He does seem to, even though he's clearly a psycho, have like a soft spot for her. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, when he grabs her leg, ugh, can't do it. No. Ugh, so bad. Anyway, anything else on this section before we move on? I know, like we all just get the like. Ugh.
I do like that they tie it into like her story that she told him. Like Claire doesn't know she's on an island. She doesn't know where she is. Like her memories are all kind of coming and going. She probably thinks like he could sell that as, yeah, you were going to give the baby away and it's to us. And like she's out of her mind, so she doesn't know enough to be like, no, that's not quite right.
Yeah.
It like makes sense.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but it makes sense.
Yeah. The only other thing I want to touch on, because I think that this was brilliant cinematography, we've talked about this before, is going, like, taking the camera and her and Ethan, but she's standing in the background, like, watching that.
That was really good.
Like, I just got goosebumps even bringing that up. That scene was so well done. Just, like, that cinematography was, it's like talking about Charlie when he was playing the piano with the ocean back there. It's like, God, you guys are brilliant. Like, this is so good. Like, this is so
I loved that shot, and it reminds me of why I love shows and movies when they do stuff like this. And I don't know, it's very, very good.
It was just the whole like turning the camera, and then all of a sudden she's in the background. You're like, oh my gosh, like the tree, like got all this whole thing for her. But yeah, moving on. At this point, she comes out of it because that's what we see as that camera moves over. She's in the background. But even here's the other brilliance of this like cinematography as well. You see her in the sunlight in this as they pan over. She's in the sunlight here, and then immediately she's back in the like the rainy, gloomy of it all. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so good. But like to see her snap out of it on camera, like you don't even like. It's so well done. So well done. But she like immediately is like, oh, it's around here. Give me a second. And Kate again being so fucking annoying. Claire, what are you doing? I'm searching, and like Rousseau's like, let her look. Like Jesus, shut up. Like shut up.
You're just mad at Kate right now.
I'm mad at everybody in this episode.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Kate is like Claire's best friend in this entire episode, and you're like, and then Kate's so annoying.
She is so annoying. But Claire starts wandering. Again, I don't know if this was like just her acting so well, or she actually, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when she like runs down there, she kind of trips, where she's like clinging onto a branch, like to keep herself up. I don't know if this was acting or if she just was like, oh, please don't fall on camera. Like it's really well done, just whether she was acting or not, like just her trying to stay on point there. But she finds a new hatch. We have a new hatch, and like lo and behold, just take the garbage bag off it, and there you go. They do go into this hatch. They're exploring. This is where we are going to get to where Jake was bringing up about the beard and things. We've got all of them kind of just looking around at this point. We see Rousseau just like clinging to Claire at this point. Like, I'm going to find her. I'm going to find her. We've got this place. Like, this is the, like, Michael, you mentioned like this glimmer of hope. Like, we're in here now. Okay. Where are we going, Claire? Like, she's just like one, like they're like this, like two of them together. But she's like, this is where they were going to keep him. We see this nursery is not so bright and beautiful anymore. And it's just really, the things are off the wall and it's just completely empty. But she does find the booty, that one booty that she only had time to make. We see that Kate is wandering, and she wanders into this room that is like a locker room, and she opens it up, and there's like costumes and things in here, and then theatrical glue and a beard, and she's wondering what's going on. It definitely opens up like these, like what is this place? Like what is this? Like it's empty. Like there, why is it abandoned? All these things. We get over to Claire with her other flash, where we see teenage girl waking her up. Jake, you mentioned how well that she looks like Rousseau could be her daughter. We get to find out that they're going to cut this baby out of you. You have got to go. She's like, it's fine. It's good. Like, no big deal. And she's like, bitch, okay, all right. I'm going to have to drug your ass because you're so stupid right now. Like, but she even shows her the operating room, and Claire's just like, it's fine.
He would never do that to me. No.
Ethan wouldn't do it.
Guy. But that gets her to remember that room, and she's like, wait, that's the room with the vaccine in it. I'm running. So she runs into that room. The refrigerator's on its side, and she's trying to lift it up. Rousseau is just like, what the hell is this? Like,
overwhelmed.
She's so overwhelmed. Claire's like, help me. And she's like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like, she's so out of it. So, of course, Claire yells for Kate because she can't lift this fridge by herself. Like, good God, Claire. Like, all this time, you kept yourself from falling down outside, but we can't lift this baby fridge. Like, this is a problem. But we do get her to get this fridge up, and they open it up, and it is empty. Of course, Claire, this is the whole reason why she came. And she's just devastated. She's like, it's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be here. And we get them going outside. I'm going to stop here because my next little note brings us into the next flash. So I don't want to go in there because there's so much that kind of happened here. Yeah. And I know that, Jake, you want to talk specifically about these things that were found. So walk us through this.
Geez, yeah, just to go in this locker room and see, like, we got the grubby costumes that we've seen the others wearing. And then you see like the theatrical glue and like the beard, and I'm just like, okay, so that lends me to the theory that the guy that Ethan was talking to is Zeke, and obviously he's been wearing like the fake beard and everything. But it's very, very weird to me because then I'm like, well, obviously Ethan's pretending to be a doctor, like, you know, I don't know, but I'm like, it's weird to have like this, you know, these actors, I guess. I don't know, like that's just what it reminds me of, but it's like, is it quite that? I don't think so. I don't know. It's just very, very odd what is going on here, and I don't have a way to describe it other than that. It just makes me more intrigued for who these people are that they have been clearly disguising themselves and going out and, you know, seeming to be these threatening people. They're just psychopaths. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on the situation.
Yeah, I remember this being like, oh shit, like another layer that you find out, because like who the others are has been maybe along with the monster, like the biggest question that we've been having of like, who are these native people? And I think you start to get a grasp on them in that, okay, they're just, you know, island inhabitants. They have rough clothes. They're not civilized. And then to have this of like, wait, this is like a costume. They're playing that role. Like, what does that mean? Like, who are they then? Like, why do they want to present themselves in that way? It's like a whole other like layer to it where I was just like, what does that mean? That was I remember watching this episode live and it being like a mind blow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very like, because like we know from our hatch that like the hatch has been there for a long time, and like people have been living in that hatch, so it's not like dingy and cobwebby, but there is like graffiti on the wall. It's been there for a while, and it is very dated, right? So like we know that these hatches have been there for a long time. We know the other one that the tailies were using, that one was like abandoned, right? And so now we have this one, and this is why, like I said, I think Claire was like a little like drugged up and thinking that it was great, because like the walls are so gross, and like her memory of the hallway, it's kind of dingy, it's kind of old, but like her memory of that nursery is that it's like wonderful and well painted, and like it's like you can see on the walls like the outline of like the things that used to be there. Like it's crazy. So like it is very much
and this
like
wasn't that long ago,
right?
Which
was
only like
just
a few weeks after Aaron's been born. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably a couple months at this point.
Well, and that's wild how it just seems completely abandoned too. Like,
yeah, like that type of like that level of like grime happens in years, right? Like it's so like it's very like so many illusions broken at once watching it, because you also have Kate finding the like supply, the costume supplies, and like even those, like the label on the theater glue is like old and like half ripped, right? Like it is very like you have certain ideas up until this moment, and it is all just kind of like overload in that moment. And then like she has the memory of, like, it even makes me question, like, were they even giving her anything? Like, was there any medication? Because like that refrigerator is dumped over. Like, there was, what? Was there even anything in there? So like, it is very like, oh my God, what is happening? It is very much one of those types of moments for me. I loved it.
Yeah, so wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I mean, here's the thing though, like with your theory, I do like it, but I don't necessarily 100% agree with this, because we do see these costumes, and if Jake is talking about him thinking that this is Zeke, then we know that that just literally happened a few days ago. So they're obviously coming back there to put this stuff away. So it's not going to be like, there's going to be disturbance of this. So I don't necessarily think that this is like years of ground, like, you know what I mean? It's literally underground. Like, who know, you know what I mean? So it's an interesting theory. It definitely could be, but I think that because we are seeing this dingy hallway, like in her flashbacks, like I think it's always been gross. And I think that her room was meant to make it like her to feel like this, it's okay to leave your baby here. I don't necessarily think that was in her imagination, but it is a definitely interesting theory for sure. I mean, I want to point out, because this is again, Lifetime movie. They're going to cut this baby out of her. This is like, what the actual, this is like horror movie, Lifetime movie gone wild. Like, this is insane. Like, you see them in this room, all of them in their little scrubs, like getting ready. Like, and we know that Claire was asleep here. And, you know, Alex, you know, we're going to find out her name here in a second. So I'm going to just say it. Alex wakes her up and she's like in a pit. What were they going to do? Like, you're in labor, Claire, let's go deliver a baby. Like, again, it's just like, I think at that point, if they were, because they're sick of waiting for her to have this baby, obviously, right? Like, Ethan's like, you're going to have the baby, you're going to go back to your camp. Like, it's all fine. They're over it. They're like, we want this kid. Like, we want this kid so badly that we're going to cut it out of her. This is insane. This is like, again, Lifetime movie on steroids. It's insane. I just can't. It's gross. It's weird.
Yeah. And then, but like, was it a whole team of doctors? Was it like, were those people in scrubs? Because she remembers everything so differently than it really happened. So like, was it just like Ethan and one other person just like prepping the room? Like, it's so crazy to think about.
Hacksaw.
Right?
It's the saw that Echo was looking for.
Let's just tie things together. You never know.
Oh my God. All right. With that, we get to them after they've left this hatch and they're in the woods, if you will. And obviously, again, Claire's very upset that she didn't find what she wanted, what she was looking for. Rousseau didn't find what she was looking for. This is just devastation at an all-time high. And Claire immediately goes to Rousseau and she's like, you were taking me back there. Like, I don't understand like why you're giving me attitude right now. You were taking me back to them. And Rousseau's like, bitch, I thought you said you remembered. Like, this is like a joke, right? Like, what is happening here?
Have we been having different conversations this entire time?
So we do get her last flash here of her after Alex has drugged her to get her out because she's so stupid and just drugged up and being an idiot. But I also love that Alex was like, I'm going to take you back to your camp, but we have to leave right now. But then she's like, because she was so like not helpful, I had to drug her. So now she's like dead weight and I'm only carrying her a few feet out. She's like, I'm done. I got her out. She's fine. But I mean, we get her in this flash that she wakes up in the woods and she's like, I'm sure, Ethan, I'm sure. Oh shit, I'm out in the woods. What's happening? Like, but we still hear her like literally like, I'm sure, Ethan, I'm sure. Like, oh, again, like just the heebie-jeebies of like all of this is like insane. And Rousseau pops up and she's like, I gotta find Ethan. I don't know who you are, but I gotta find Ethan. This guy, have you seen him? Like, did he go out to the store? I need to know where he's at.
Did he go get some milk? Like, what's happening?
Right. We do hear them start. They're like, Claire. They're looking for Claire. We also hear this like alarm in the background. Like, it's like this weird, like, is it in Claire's head? Are we hearing it? Like, what is this like happening? But we hear them starting to yell for her. And she's like, oh, I'm over here, Ethan. Having a good old day.
Come get me. Come get this baby out.
Rousseau's like, bitch, shut up. Like, just please. Like, this is not happening. And we see that this is where that fight where Rousseau is trying to get her away from them, not take them back. And this is where she got her scratches. It's all making sense. It's all coming back now. And then too, she's like, she's over it, just like her daughter, and smacks the bitch is upside her head. Like, she's like, I'm done with this lady. I cannot. And so this is when we get back to them present time. And she's like, I carried you back on my back all the way to your camp where they would find you. Like, I'm the one who brought you here. Like, so we find out, we know we had Claire coming out of the woods with Boone and Locke when they were searching for the dog. And she stumbles out and it's like, where the hell did she come from? Well, that's where she came from. Rousseau carried her ass back. With that, it's just kind of like, again, this realization that Rousseau's not going to get what she wanted out of this. And like, Claire's not either, but she is getting way more than Rousseau in this moment. And Rousseau is able to give that to her, which is like, just like tears me in two. And so then Claire does give her a little bit something as a thank you. And she goes, I remember a girl with blue eyes. And she's like, her name was Alexandra, which is like, oh, Alex. Yes. Total girl name. We didn't have any idea this whole time. But it's just that moment. She's like, she helped me. She was good. They were all bad. She was the good one. For her to give this to Rousseau, and Rousseau just to like, you see her like, just love that moment, but like still again, like just the dagger through, like I'm like tearing up just thinking about like that. Sorry. Just like that devastation that Rousseau must feel in that moment. Good God. Sorry.
Unacceptable.
Good Lord. I didn't think I would cry, but like,
what is this emotion?
But then just her like walking off, like it's just, it breaks my heart. I didn't think I would cry. Jesus. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about how idiotic Locke is. We have Jack and Echo come into the hatch, and Locke's like, back for some more tools, and Jack's like, no, you idiot. He knows, like, whatever. He's like, well, ain't that something? So he goes in to talk to Henry. I have to point out again, like we were talking about his face and all these, like the makeup, the aging of this like bruising and like the yellow, but the black and the blue, still the green, like the bruising makeup is like on point. Like kudos to makeup artists. But we have Echo giving the story of him killing Goodwin, and he's like, I just wanted to let you know. Henry's like, thanks, I guess, but like, why are you telling me this? And he's like, I just wanted forgiveness. Like, I just wanted to get it off my chest, and this is all about forgiveness. Also, let me chop off part of my beard, and here you go. It's my token of appreciation for you listening. I just love Henry in this moment. If he's like, I've been locked in this room. They just sent me this very intimidating man, and now he's talking about forgiveness and cutting off his beard. What is happening in my life?
Yeah,
I was trying to survive my balloon crash. Like, what is going on here?
So funny.
It is a really good one. We have Claire back with Aaron, of course, Jack and his great bedside manner. See, I told you he'd be fine. It's all great. All great.
He was right.
Whatever. Shut up. But Aaron is much better. We have Claire being like, look at what I made for you. The one booty that one foot's going to be warm. The other one's cold. Sorry about your luck, kid, but that's all I have time for.
Just jam them both into one.
Anyway, but she does say, she goes, I know now that we were supposed to be together, because obviously, again, she was going to give Aaron up for adoption, but again, like I didn't think I'd get emotional about this fucking last scene here. But to her saying, like, that's such a mom thing, like coming from me as just as a parent, I didn't necessarily ever feel like I was going to want kids, be a good mom or anything. And then just like when that moment hits with your kids and you're like, God, like, what would I have been without you? Like, I can't even remember my life without you. Like, for her to say we were supposed to be together, just some the most beautiful thing ever. Like, it's just such a good scene. Now we're gonna end with good old Locke being dumbass Locke that he is. He walks in, and Henry and him are having a good old conversation. Henry, he's like, did you mean that about like Hemingway? And he's like, you have good ears. He's like, well, you have thin doors and you're an idiot. Like, I don't know. But with that, they go into this whole like he's like, well, which are you? Are you the running with the boar? Like, you know, the bulls? Are you because Locke is trying to tell him that there's something good from this. What's the name? Dostoevsky? Did I say that right?
Dostoevsky. Yeah.
Sure. Yep. Cool. It's whatever at this point. Like, me and names, like, who cares? But Henry is like, no, not a thing. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, you're listening to this doctor, and Locke's like, okay, asshole, I am not listening to anybody. I am my own person. And Henry's like, okay, not really, but okay. And so Locke walks out. He's like, guess we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. But no, agreeing to disagree. He upset Locke, and he just throws the dishes. He is very upset in this moment. And again, it just shows Locke being able to be manipulated yet again, which is fantastic. So with that is the end of the episode. Jake, kick us off of what you thought on this ending, and it's okay to cry because I did cry too.
Yeah, well, Kevin's currently playing the world's smallest violin for John Locke.
Poor to walk. He got his feelings hurt. Oh no. Henry Gale is so mean to you.
I thought it was very, very funny too. So that moment was good. And just like, you know, this moment between Claire and Rousseau, and I don't know, I really enjoyed this between these two characters, that we thought Rousseau was taking Claire's baby and all this other stuff, and just like to have this moment between them is really, really good. I love that I love when Lost or like Marvel can like pull different characters together that you would have never thought would have connected or had something going on, and they can just make these connections and make you want to see the two of them together, or, you know, however many it may be. But yeah, just like, it's so wild, like just finally getting to see what happened again, and how Claire got back to camp and was able to get there with, you know, being who knows where on the island. So I mean, how far away was this other hatch? Because it seemed like it was like, you know, not too far away to be like such a long trek, but
yeah, they must have been relatively close.
Yeah. Well, and I also just like to see how close the others were to Rousseau. And Rousseau says she like carried her Claire all this way. It's like crazy, because you would have thought like the others would have been like right there, and Rousseau wouldn't have been able to take Claire that far. So I don't know, that was a bit crazy to me.
I'm gonna focus on all the hatch stuff because, man,
yeah,
I just love it. Mr. Echo and Henry Gale, like that little conversation is just so good. And I love the look on Henry's face where, like you say, he's being beaten bloody. He's like, I don't know why I'm being beaten. They think I'm another what? And then he's apologizing for something, for killing two people with a stone, and then he's going to cut his beard off in front of me. And Henry just looks like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, and I do like that my read of that was that he's been growing this little beard as like penance for what he did, and now he's said that it's like absolving him. But I remember when I first watched it, I thought he was going to kill himself.
I thought so too. I'm like, what are you doing, Echo?
He gets the knife out and puts it right to his throat. I was like, wait, what?
Why don't you cut it outwards? I was like,
yeah, right. It's like, oh shit, like, don't do that, Echo. Can you imagine again if Henry has been, if that's what had happened? Henry's just like,
what did I
don't know what I'm doing here.
I love Henry in this moment. He's like, I'm trying to survive my balloon crash, and they keep throwing me in this like random room. I can't even pee by myself, and like now this guy
shot by an arrow. People are confessing their murder sins to me. I don't know what's going on. Someone let me out.
I'm not having it. This is not my day. This is not my week.
And then the whole Locke thing is, we'll get into it. I can't really defend it. He's so easy to get under the skin of, like so easy, and it's done so expertly. And he's the best part is when he says Jack and I make decisions together, and Henry just goes, "Okay, my mistake."
that little like sure does so much work. It's so good.
Yeah, but here's the thing too, is like Henry is a prisoner. I would be looking for anything and everything that I could do to. It's like divide and conquer.
Oh,
like,
right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Make them hate each other.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
I've got this is so brilliant from like a prisoner standpoint of like, oh, obviously this guy's the idiot, so let me like get under his skin so I can start this divide so that I can hopefully get out of here. You know what I mean? So it's brilliant on his part.
Right. I also think there is like an undertone too of like Locke thinks like we make these decisions together because I make the decisions and I let Jack have input. Right? Like I think that's how Locke thinks of it. Like he doesn't think it's a genuine partnership. He thinks he's really in charge and he includes Jack. Right? And so for him to be like, why do you let the doctor tell you what to do is like, well, that's not what happens. No, I'm in charge here. I'm in charge. It's so good. As someone who does not love John Locke,
What?
it makes me so happy.
You hate John Locke?
I'm so shocked. This is the first time I'm hearing this.
It makes me so happy. I love every second of it. And that little temper tantrum he has when he gets out of there is so funny. Like, ha. Oh, I love it.
Dude, you're like...
I love it. I love it more than when like Jack has bad bedside manner, and I have to admit it. And like as much as Kristin loves that, I love this even more. It's amazing. I can't love it enough.
John Locke, dude, you're like 55 years old and you're having temper tantrums. Like it's really funny.
And it's so funny to me because like in real life, this is a person that I would be rooting for, right? Like this is a person who like aged out of foster care and like took care of himself and like became something literally from nothing and like ended up in a wheelchair. We don't know how you ended up in a wheelchair and like still wasn't letting that get him down. Like he should be somebody that we all root for. But like inside, he's still just this little baby who just like wants to be taken seriously. And no one will listen to him. And like, I just love it. I love it.
I envisioned his temper tantrum much like you when you can't get your Oreos.
Oh.
I can always get Oreos. Don't worry. I'm always prepared with Oreos.
Yeah, it's like you summed up John Locke, but I don't know why that's a bad thing. Like he is that guy, and he's not in control of his emotions, and he's not a confident person, and it's so easy to get him to fall back on that self-doubt, and to me that's what makes him someone you do root for. But like, yeah,
no, I've said it a million times. I'll always say like incredibly well written, incredibly well performed. I would be so annoyed with this person. Like, you can't see that you're being played. You can't see it. So for those reasons, I can't stand him. But like, it's part of what makes the show for me. It's part of what makes it fun to watch.
For those
I do like that. Like we get in these little scenes with Henry, like we still don't know whether he's telling the truth or whether he's lying, but we're seeing that whoever he is, he's intelligent. He's reading this situation very well, and he just sees exactly what's going on in Locke's brain there.
Like I said, from the moment I saw him in the net, I did not trust this person. And watching him do this, I was like, just shoot him. Just shoot him now. Just shoot him now.
Goodness.
Like, I'm a Jack. I would also be like, no, we need to be nice to this person because like what we do says more about us than it does about them. So like we should be treating him well. But like the person watching the show is like, don't you be nice to him, Jack. Don't you be nice to him. He doesn't deserve it. He's clearly terrible.
Well, that is what maternity leave is. So favorite and least favorite characters, it should be Sawyer for everyone across the board. But With that, let's get to that in our rankings. Jake, kick us off.
Least favorite, I think, is easy. Ethan. I mean, dude is a total psychopath, drugging women and just like, wanting to cut babies out of them and just, get out of here, Ethan. Glad you're dead. And then favorite character. Trying to think of. I'm gonna say Danielle Rousseau. Actually, I think it's really, really cool that they brought in this character and we're slowly getting more layers to her. And she isn't just this crazy lady. Like, she does actually care, about Claire to an extent, and she still wants, to find her daughter and connects to Claire over this. So yeah, I'll go with Rousseau.
I'm finding it so difficult for least favorite character. Like, because even someone like Ethan, he's awful, but he's so fascinating. Like, I think we've hit the point of the only time I can pick least favorite characters is when it's from a flashback and you get some like nobody character and they're like, they suck. But when it's all
terrible parent, yeah,
it's really difficult because all these characters are really interesting and well fleshed out. But I do have to go Ethan because, I mean, just objectively, he is the worst. But with favorite character, I could easily give it to like someone like Echo. He's not in it for very much, but he steals it whenever he is, or Henry, or Jack Locke. But there's not many situations where I think Claire gets a good spotlight, and I think this is a great spotlight for Claire. So maybe for the first time, I'm going to give. Damn, I missed my joke. Damn it! I was going to make Shannon my favorite character because I've been listening ever since Shannon died. This is the first episode, Kristin, where you've not mentioned Shannon, so I was going to make her my favorite character for finally getting to an episode without you insulting her unnecessarily.
It's not over yet. I was going to.
I'll give it to Claire because, I think this is a good showcase of Claire.
So Ethan, least favorite because that man is fucking psycho. I could also pick John Locke, but I just appreciate the takedown so much. I can't make him my least favorite because it just brought me so much joy. Favorite, I think I will go with the other member of this little like search party and go with Kate. I think Kate is.
Oh my god.
I think Kate is a very good friend to Claire. I think.
Yeah.
I think Rousseau is extremely intriguing of a character, but like Kate is a good friend to Claire. She is there to like protect Claire in the middle of the night when Rousseau appears in the middle of the night. Like, even though she doesn't want to go on this, like, you see Son kind of like scolding Claire and like, you shouldn't do, like, trying to put, and Kate is a much more supportive friend. Like, I don't really think this is a good idea, but I'm going to go with her anyway. She goes and gets the gun from Sawyer so that she has some protection. I think Kate is a great friend to Claire in this episode. And because it's going to annoy Kristin so much, she's going to be my favorite character of the week.
It's just a little thing as well, but I do want to bring up, I do think it's nice that, Kate was Claire's birthing partner, for whatever the term is. She was there delivering the baby, and for them to have this, continuation of what happened pre-baby, it's nice that they did that together. Yeah. Kate was great.
I'm tempted just to leave right now, honestly. No, so here's the thing.
It's Sawyer.
It's definitely Sawyer, 100%. No, I'm very torn. I really can't pick between Claire and Rousseau, so I'm gonna like merge them together and make it Claire Rousseau. Is my favorite character, and I think that these two women are phenomenal. Like together, like this mother, like protecting child, all these things is just like they're too good to separate. I can't do it. Like there's not one over the other. So our new character's name is Claire Rousseau. So welcome to Lost, Claire Rousseau. With that, one person and one person only. Listen, I'm really torn because Ethan, as bad as he is, like he's again, like Michael said, he's so intrigued. Like you're like, I don't want to see this person anymore, but I kind of want to see more because he's so good, but he's so bad. So I am torn with Ethan. I think where I really want to go is put Sun and Kate as my least favorite characters because they were such idiots and assholes. And Jack, like I could like put a whole like group of them just here dangling at the bottom because they all suck bad. So you know what? Because it will never ever happen again. I'm picking Sun. That was a bitch move. And Sun is gonna be
just rude.
She will never be a least favorite character, so there was my moment to have it.
Rude. Heinous behavior.
You're crazier than Rousseau.
She was rude. Rankings.
All right, top 10. Michael, where do we stand?
Are we thinking top 10 or do I go season 2?
I don't think this breaks top 10, but
yeah, I don't think this breaks. I think we get a lot of island information, but like I don't know if it's top 10. Like because the top 10 is so good.
Yeah,
I definitely don't think it breaks top 10. I think it's going to be high up in 2, so I'm excited for your guys' rankings on that. But I don't know, Jake. What's your thought?
In season 2, I think it's gonna be in there a little bit, but overall, I don't think top 10. But I think for season 2, I'm gonna say maybe like 9.
I still love Jake's ranking idea of just like picking a number. It brings me so much joy.
I'll give you the season 2.
Yeah, run through.
Yeah, I'll give you the season 2 rankings. So we have Orientation, The Other 48 Days, Man of Science, Man of Faith, The Long Con, The 23rd Psalm, and that's the final one that's in our top 10. So then outside the top 10 is The Hunting Party, One of Them, Adrift, Collision, What Kate Did, Abandoned, Everybody Hates Hugo, and Found, Fire and Water.
Oh, okay. Now that you say that, now I'm like, I'll put it down a little bit more in season 2 because I feel like I enjoyed like Hunting Party, 23rd Psalm more. I'll put it 12. I'll put it underneath the Hunting Party for me. So I'll move it down there because I think this is still really good. But like if I'm comparing it to those episodes and those moments, I feel like those were more like crazy or like shocking and I don't know, like. So I'll put it at 12, like in season 2.
That would be 7 or 8 in season 2.
Sorry.
Total season 2, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, yeah. Okay, yeah. So like 7 or 8 season 2, like probably 12 overall. Yeah, that.
Okay. So 6 is Hunting Party.
6 is Hunting Party. Then One of Them, Adrift, Collision.
Wait, which one's One of Them? What happened in One of Them?
Henry Gale introduction.
I think I would put this. I would put this right around Henry Gale. Like it's a similar sort of vibe of where like we're getting something, and we know it's a lot of something, but we don't quite know what it is yet. So I would definitely put it around there, right above or right below there.
I agree. Yeah, sorry, Michael, go ahead.
I was thinking just above Adrift. I think we get more than we do in Adrift. Obviously, that's focused on, very much just on the raft, which would put it between One of Them and Adrift. That's where I was looking for season 2 and then not in the top 10.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I agree with Jake on this one is I feel like we got more. I've always like ranked them by like what we get in the episode. And I feel like while we got the introduction to Henry Gale and I can't wait to get more of Henry Gale, I think that this tied up so many loose ends for us of like what happened to Claire. So I think I have to agree with Jake. I'm going to put this below Hunting Party and above One of Us or One of Them, whatever.
Yeah.
One of the ones. He's a one of the one. So I don't know where that, because that you guys put it right. I don't know where that puts us.
Yeah, that puts it.
Jake originally had it a bit higher, and we had it low, so I think it evens out like above it with you guys. So it would be Hunting Party, this, One of Them.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's good with me. All right. With that is maternity leave. So we will be back for episode 16 for more madness and hopefully more John Locke tantrums because they're hilarious to watch.
I can't even get my usual sign off because just like I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, John Locke. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, with that, I'll let you get to your spoiler section, and we'll see you all next time for more Lost on the Tribe of Nerds.
John Locke.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tribe of Nerds After Jake section, the spoiler section of our Lost. We spoil everything. So if you have not seen Lost in its entirety, this is not the place for you. You need to go.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave now.
This is your...
I'm going to give you a countdown from 108, 108, 107, 106.
Okay, that's enough
105.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're still here, it's your own fault. Maternity leave, guys. We have a lot to spoil from this episode.
The island and pregnancy. Oh my god.
No, yeah, let's start there. Let's jump right in. What about this pregnancy on the island, Kevin?
Well, because pregnant women die on the island. So like Claire had her baby successfully on the island. What?
Mm-hmm.
So they are obsessed with her.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And also, like, we have to assume, like, Juliet was probably there. Like, if they're going to take the baby at this point, like, one of those people in the scrubs was probably Juliet. This was actually the introduction of Juliet episode.
I looked for her because you would assume, but it was all men in there.
Well, but
I mean, that would be key, but I'm saying she's probably there. But it was just I specifically looked to see if we could see Juliet.
No, I mean, but keep in mind, this is probably like a faulty, like unreliable narrator situation in Claire because she's so drugged. So like,
yeah,
she probably is there.
Oh, I mean, I would assume she is 100%.
Yeah.
And also, you know, we're talking about how creepy Ethan is, but they are actually trying to save this baby.
Right.
Like, they're going to steal it, but they are assuming that, like, Claire is going to die giving birth. Like, let's take the baby out. They're trying to do what they can to save the baby.
Yeah, because when the pregnant women die, the babies die as well. So yes, they're they're going to cut the baby out to save the baby. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's honestly what's crazy too. Like talking about babies, is we had a moment with Sun. Her saying she's not a mother. Well, guess what? Next episode, we're gonna find out she is because she's pregnant.
Okay, but like the layers of that too. Layers of that too, because I couldn't even help but say oof when she said it. Like, because we know that Sun like is under the impression that they can't get pregnant, that she can't get pregnant. So like for her to say, well, you're not a parent is like, but what they don't know is Sun actually is pregnant.
Right. She's pregalicious.
Some good old island magic.
Like good old island magic. Which is crazy because like also, I mean, we know that Jin was the one who is sterile, and we know that we're gonna get the whole like, I don't think it's Jin's baby, but Juliet does explain to her when she goes like, it's probably Jin's because this island does crazy things like make people walk. It made his sperm count like triple. Yay for you.
And like the like heartbreaking what that is going to come out to be with Sun when it's like, if it is Jin's baby, that means she's probably going to die.
Right, because she got pregnant.
But if it's not Jin's baby, she's probably going to live, but then it's not Jin's baby. And like,
she's like happy about it, even though it means she might be in danger. You think Jin noticed the difference? It was like, that came out like a cannon. What happened there?
Oh my god. I mean, yeah, it definitely was like it's so what I think about Lost, knowing that they're throwing this line out there to be that dig, and then literally our next episode we're gonna get the pregnancy test of it all. Like it's like, damn y'all, like what? Because like, can you like week to week, literally you're sitting there like, wait, she's pregnant? She was pregnant when Claire was going off. You know, it's like all these things. So yeah, it's great. I mean, listen, I almost called Henry Ben at least 20 times in that last
How
moment.
they make such an effort.
I have to look down at me because I write Henry just so I could like look down at that, but I almost messed that up big time.
I have to tell myself not to even say his name, not to say a name, because it's like, you're probably going to mess it up. I'm going to try to call him Benry. Like,
From Survivor. Yeah, but I mean, he's doing some master manipulation here, which is going to be, I mean, but also like for Ben, like this is just Ben, like everyday life.
This is just
like,
Ben being Ben.
But this is what he does on a regular basis.
So chaos.
Yeah, he's amazing.
This is also not the last time we're going to see Ben extremely easily manipulate John Locke.
It happens.
It is interesting that this is like the first of Ben's many manipulations of Locke. And like when I just find it funny where you see Ben so clearly in those moments where like the first episode, I kind of believe he's Henry, even though I know he's Ben, but like you don't see Ben's characteristics in that first episode with him. You just see the lie that's being told. And then this episode, you start to see like Ben being Ben. You can just see it in his eyes. You can see the manipulation, and even the little look when he hears the plates being smashed, and he kind of just sits up straight in his little room, like,
right, he's like,
I got him. Okay.
His little dance. But honestly though, it still fits the Henry thing. You know what I mean? Like I was like putting it out there for Jake too, of like, this is like if I'm a prisoner and I'm trying to get out because obviously they're not believing me. Like this is believable of if he is actually Henry.
And he's like some rich guy, so he's got like evil corporate, instincts, because he's so rich he's flying a balloon around the world, right? Like, so yes, like if this was really Henry Gale, like Henry Gale could really possibly do this. However, we know it's not, so we don't have to pretend that here.
We do not. We do not. Also, it's crazy though. I meant to text you guys this in our spoiler section. We have a spoiler section away from Jake too.
We have a separate no Jake chat.
We do. But because you guys know I'm ahead with Kason, and when Locke becomes the monster, right? When he comes back, I really noticed it when we were watching an episode the other day, is like, we know how easily manipulated Locke was, and he's not having anything to do with Ben, like when they get to the island. And I was like, I never like realized all the million times I've watched it, and this is again why I love rewatching Lost, because I still pick up things, is like it's so subtle, but it's like if you're like really not thinking about it, like I was like, oh, he's really not having any of like Ben shit. Like when he's talking about summoning the monster, right? He's like, we didn't have to wait this long last time, knowing he's the like it's like, oh my god, like he's now
on a train, John. Doesn't run on a schedule. So funny.
It's such a good, but yeah, it's just you still think that Ben is, but you like again, unless you're looking for it, you see that it's not happening when he's the monster, which is a very subtle thing.
Ben is trying to pull the tactics that he knows works on Locke without realizing that he's talking to the person that has been manipulating Ben for years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So good.
It's so good. But yeah, it's just something I caught on, that it's a very subtle thing. But yeah. Also, let's talk about these costumes, shall we? These costumes. Also, I know that we weren't going to confirm or deny for him that is Zeke, which is not his name either, but his name is Tom Friendly. But yeah, bearded dude is that dude that we saw today, which is not Zeke, but Tom Friendly, who we were led to believe is the leader. But he says today, I love it. Michael's like, let me just hone in again on what Kristin just said here. Like talking about him, which the him is in the hatch is Ben, but then there's another him that is Jacob, but it's not Jacob, it's the monster. There's so many. It's like, I love it. But yeah, let's talk about these costumes, because this is going to come into play here shortly with Michael coming back to get them to go over. Kate brings this up because he's like, they're worse off than we are. They have crappy clothes and they live in huts, and Kate's like, about that, I found a box of all their costumes. And he's like, that's not true, Kate, what do you Jack, it's not true. It's like, wow, Michael, that was really bad acting. But yeah, it's meant to, but this is what Jack still doesn't listen to it, but Saeed is well on that trail where he's like, all right, Jack, like he's not acting right. So that's where Jack will start to go along with this plan to get the upper hand, if you will, on that one. But yeah, it is going to come back into play of the station. Speaking of station, Kevin, you brought up something about the station.
The one from this episode that they will go back to?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna find out that Sun got pregnant on the island in it's DOC, date of conception, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Juliet's gonna, just like most hatches, they will go to the hatch more than once.
Mm-hmm. Yes, most definitely. But you know what's interesting though is like we brought up the fact that they abandoned this place, but we know like because there's that whole separate room that's hidden, right? Because she even brings it up. She's like, Claire told me about this place. There's nothing here, and she's like, she didn't know where to look. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I don't think this was been abandoned for. I still don't think it's Claire.
No, I don't know. I think that in general, the Dharma initiative like built a bunch of hatches. I think the others who are now living in the barracks, like they know about some of them. Some of them they care about. Some of them they don't. I think this is one that they generally prefer the medical equipment over on Hydra Island. So
right.
They generally don't use this one, but they know what's there. So like, right. Yeah, they go there sometimes, but like that's not one of their main ones. Their main ones are like the barracks and Hydra Island.
Right, for sure.
And then the Looking Glass.
We've seen that this hatch is very close to the Swan hatch and these other hatches, which is way out of the way to where the others are when we see the island more fully. You know, the others are based way further out, mm-hmm. like around the other side of the island. So like this is a nice area for them to come to if they need to, but it's way out of the way for them to be using as a priority.
Way out of the way as in another island? I'm just kidding.
No, but like
that's pretty close to them.
You know how like if you like my grandma's house, right? Like my grandmother's house, she had my dad's old bedroom like filled with stuff, and like it's in her house, but like her kids were grown. She wasn't going in there. So like we would go in there sometimes and be like, my dad would be like, oh yeah, I gotta find this thing. We'd be like, how do you find it? Like she had a chair in front of the door. She didn't go in there. So like I think it's very much that like yes, there's stuff in there. Yes, they go in there or something. Like people go in, but like it's what do you need in there? Like
right. Yeah, for sure. Any other spoilers that we want to talk about for maternity leave?
Claire is going to stay on the island, and Kate is going to take Aaron. They're going to continue this close relationship.
You're right. I did want to bring that up because you guys had brought up that she has been. Michael, I love when you were like, Kate was her like birthing person. I was like, I love that. Maybe
birthing partner.
Birthing partner.
Partner.
They have definitely have this trajectory that they keep going down of being connected, where she does eventually take Aaron, but then she leaves him. But yeah, I mean, that's because Kate came to her in a vision and said, do not bring Aaron back here. But that's a whole nother, if we go down that, this will be like an hour-long spoiler section. We don't want to do that. With that. But yes, Kate does take Aaron for sure and tells everybody he is hers. So with that, are we ready to end spoiler section?
I think it's all the ones I can think of, yeah.
All right, well, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. If you're going to comment a spoiler, please put spoiler in like 5,000 spaces because Jake can't help himself. He can't help himself.
Make sure you subscribe. Jake really, he's like, why are people subscribing? I'm like, because they don't do it on YouTube. And he's like, but please subscribe for us.
So that Jake does not do a poor baby Locke and throw a tantrum. Jake is going to be the new Locke. But yes, no, like, comment, subscribe. Again, anything that you guys have questions on, let us know. We will answer them on the podcast, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.